Hello everyone, I'm Meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your 11 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got news out of Carteret County where a drug trafficker, a suspected drug trafficker, is now behind bars. 30-year-old Devin Smith was arrested Tuesday by Carteret County deputies. Smith is being accused of selling and transporting methamphetamine in the county, according to warrants. Warrants also say that Smith was found with meth while at the Carteret County Jail. Smith has been charged with 10 counts of trafficking in meth, possession with intent to manufacture, sell, and deliver cocaine, and possession of controlled substances on prison and/or jail premises. He appeared in court on Wednesday, where he was given the $10 million bond. And for those of you in the Havelock area, the bypass that has been delayed just with construction problems is now getting ready to open. The Department of Transportation will hold a ribbon cutting for the Havelock bypass this morning. The US 70 Havelock bypass project, which runs from northern Havelock to the Craven-Carteret County border, has been under construction since 2019. Once complete, traffic on US 70 will no longer have to go through Havelock and endure multiple stoplights. However, some businesses are concerned that the lack of traffic will hurt their bottom line. The project was originally projected to finish in the spring of 2024 with costs around $167 million. But construction was delayed and cost rose to $259 million. The DOT says that since 2019, the pandemic has not only increased the cost of many project materials, but also the timeline. This summer, engineers said the bypass would open next summer. And now we want to turn our attention to the ongoing politics of Washington, where President Donald Trump has floated the idea of renaming the Kennedy Center. NBC's Garrett Hake has more.
With President Trump pushing to remake Washington, D.C. in his own image, the president's hand-picked board at the Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts now voting to add his name to the storied cultural institution and living memorial to the 35th president, John F. Kennedy. The center's website quickly updated to reflect the change.
I was surprised by it, and I was honored by it.
The president overhauled the center's board in February, appointing allies who quickly installed him as chairman. A center spokesperson says the move recognizes the, quote, current chairman saved the institution from financial ruin and physical destruction, a reference to Congress allocating more than $250 million last summer for repairs and maintenance at the center, which opened in 1971. The center saying the vote was unanimous, but several members of Congress who are on the board but don't typically vote say they were shut out, including Democratic Representative Joyce Beatty.
I was not allowed to vote because I was muted. I would not have supported this.
Beatty and 5 other Democratic lawmakers on the board call the move illegal, saying in a statement, quote, federal law established the center as a memorial to President Kennedy and prohibits changing its name without congressional action.
Only Congress can rename the Kennedy Center. The wannabe king and his sycophantic minions can't do it.
Members of President Kennedy's family are condemning the change, including grandson Jack Schlossberg.
Trump may have notched another win tonight. It just wasn't one for the country. It was for himself.
And Kennedy's niece, Maria Shriver, calling the move, quote, downright weird, adding, perhaps President Trump will want to rename the Lincoln Memorial the Trump Lincoln Memorial. Carrie Kennedy saying her uncle, quote, proudly stood for justice, peace, equality, dignity, diversity, and compassion for those who suffer. President Trump stands in opposition to these values.
And again, that was Garrett Hake reporting. We now turn to your weather forecast. It's looking sunny out there, but the sunshine will be coming with a chill as the winds are starting to shift across parts of inland eastern North Carolina, closer to I-95. Right now, you can clearly see we have dried out since last night. A lot of rain showers worked their way through the east over the past 24 hours, but over the next 24, we're looking at nothing but clear skies. It is again going to be a dry afternoon and a dry Saturday. Sunday also looking mostly dry. Maybe a few passing clouds at times over the weekend, but certainly nothing that's going to be of any sort of major significance. Currently 70 degrees in Greenville with a westerly breeze at 17 miles an hour. That westerly wind is a sign that that cold air is starting to move in. Right now we've got 55 degrees in Roanoke Rapids, 62 in Ahoskie, 69 in Edenton. So clearly a temperature spread across the area that is again going to continue to spread. We've got cold air on the way. Don't plan on the 70 sticking around all day long. It's only as long as we maintain a southwesterly wind. Now, for those of you watching on the eastern side of Highway 17, that southwesterly wind will remain in play for more of the day. So enjoy the heat while you have it. Tomorrow is certainly going to, again, be a cooler, if not colder day. Right now, wind speeds generally between around 15 up to about 25 miles an hour. As far as what we've got through the rest of the afternoon, again, air temperatures falling through the afternoon. We'll get to around lunchtime here over the next hour or two, and that's when we will see those winds completely shift from the southwest to the west-northwest, and that's going to bring in colder air. Air temps gradually fall through the afternoon today, getting into the mid-40s by 8 p.m. tonight, upper 30s by 11, and we will likely wake up tomorrow morning with air temperatures down below freezing, if not kind of around that freeze point. I think our overnight low right now is currently set at about 31 degrees, so there will be some that are going to be at or slightly above freezing. Most of eastern North Carolina, though, is going to be certainly flirting with that freeze point. Now, an area of high pressure is going to keep our skies, again, sunny for both Saturday as well as Sunday. But another cold front, a dry front, is going to be drifting its way from the north to the south across the east over the tail end of your Sunday. That will knock air temperatures down even more so from Sunday into Monday, falling from the low 60s on Sunday to the mid to upper 40s by the time we reach Monday afternoon. Now, we will warm up through next week with 56 degrees planned for Tuesday, 62 planned on Christmas Eve, 66 planned for Christmas Day, Friday, day after Christmas, 70 degrees, looking very nice, but just a slim chance of maybe a few drops out there coming in on Tuesday, just a 10% chance. So if you're worried about the forecast for this weekend, looking very sunny. Saturday, like today, will be a breezy one, but then as we make our way through next week, things are going to be unfolding pretty well for eastern North Carolinians, at least in terms of your weather forecast. Well, that's all we have time for today's 11 a.m. news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, have a fantastic rest of your Friday.